Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Get your green gear 25% off, promo code Jericho1, all caps and the number 1. Also, JG Talk on Instagram. Give me a follow. It's like 30-second clips of my videos. New ones up every day. Check it out. Two things I wanted to talk about before I forget. Number one, I just saw a homeless lady. She's sitting down crocheting something, and she has a sign that says, 20s, please. She said, 20s, please. I don't want none of that $10 bill bullshit, $5 bill bullshit, and definitely no damn George Washingtons. I need Jacksons and up. You know what? I mean, I respect her in a strange way, because like they say, if you aim for the stars, you might land in the clouds. You know, she's shooting for 20s. What do they say? Well, damn, I don't got a 20. What about a 10? 20s, please. And you ever see these fucking gypsies out here with like their whole family, got their kids standing out there for hours begging for money? I saw one dude one time, his sign said, money for hotel and food. Not motel. Hotel is a H. What I'm telling you. But they only do it because it works. Somebody's giving them money. And yesterday, I'm with my wife and kids and my son, who, by the way, 5-year-olds are the worst secret keepers ever. Last week I was picking up my daughter and my niece. I was going to take them to this place. I don't know if they have it in other states, but out here in California it's called Mayo. It's like a frozen yogurt place, and they got all kinds of different flavors and tons of toppings and shit. You pay by the ounce. And so I told my son, my wife mentioned it in front of him, and I was like, don't say anything. We're going to surprise him. He says, okay, Daddy, I won't say anything. And I knew he was going to say something. So I pick him up. We didn't get to the end of the street, and he told him. Anyway, he's graduating from kindergarten, or from preschool. And so they're doing songs, a little performance, and he goes to a preschool at a church. And so they're going to sing This Little Light of Mine and Jesus Loves Me. So we're riding along, and he starts singing it in the back seat. And I don't know if you ever heard a 5-year-old sing, but it was one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Sorry, guys. Pollen. That's what it is. Pollen. Cutest thing I ever seen. And also about yesterday, I have to admit, you guys, I feel bad. Because, like I said, we're all together. I was a bit perturbed at the beginning of our trip. And, you know, the kids, the usual arguing. You got to tell them stuff 28 times. It just irked me, so I was kind of in a bad mood. I was a bit gruff, if you will. And so my wife, she was talking to me after the kids went to bed, and she put things in perspective, as she often does. And I felt like I wasted that time. I felt like I wasted that afternoon being upset. And to be honest with you, I can't even really pinpoint what upset me in the first place, which is the case a lot of the times. But I feel like I wasted it, like I missed an opportunity. And if you're a parent, you already know this. Those opportunities are limited. You only have them, you know, they say till 18, but to be honest, 14, 15, when they want to hang out with their dumb friends all the time. So we have a very small window and a very limited amount of those afternoons, so to speak. So I'm really going to try to not miss those moments anymore, and try to not let those little things upset me. I'll do my best. I'll keep you posted. Now, let's get all up in it like a bike with no seat. I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't know. The mayor of Chicago, the Rat King, Splinter, or as I like to call her, the sloth from Ice Age, she's racist. I know, a racist Democrat. Tell me about it. Jim Crow, KKK, slavery. But she said that on the eve of her midterm, her 2 years in office. So if 2 years is midterm, that means she does a 4-year term. Chicago, you got 2 more years of this shit. Do you have enough citizens to survive another 2 years of Mayor Lightweight? Or will you all be dead? I don't know. So she said that for, I guess, some interview she's doing, I don't know if all mayors do this or just her, but she's doing some kind of interview for her 2-year mark, her 2-year anniversary. And she said that she had been shocked from her first day, or actually from being on the campaign trail, at the overwhelming whiteness and maleness of the City Hall press corps. I'm sorry, you guys. I got to keep it authentic. Like I call her, Splinter. Why do I call her Splinter? Because going on the 7th year in a row, Chicago is the rattiest city in the world. I did a video the other day about them releasing 1,000 feral cats in Chicago to eat the rats. I put a link in the description box to an article. Check it out. But I call her Splinter because if you know anything about 80s and 90s cartoons, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles teacher was Splinter, this giant rat. So if I'm going to be authentic, let me do it in Splinter's voice. This is a direct quote from the mayor of Chicago, a major American city. She said, "I was overwhelmed by the whiteness and maleness." That's what she said. The overwhelming whiteness and maleness of the press corps. Well, hold on. I know there's that saying, fight fire with fire, but that doesn't go for everything. You can't fight what you perceive as racism with racism, stupid. Now let's go to the numbers, because in these days and times, that's the only thing that we can rely on sometimes. So black folks are 13% of the population and have been for too damn long. So for every, let's say we're sticking to the numbers of the population, that 13%, let's say 10 for the sake of math. So out of every 10 people, 1 person is going to be black. So out of every 10 members of your press corps, the City Hall press corps, 1 of them should be black. Stick it to the numbers. In other words, there aren't enough black people in this country to be everywhere. There's 3 things keeping that from happening: poor health, violence, and abortion. Black women account for 33% of the abortions in this country. Let's roll it back. All black folks, 13%. Black women, let's cut that in half. Say 6%. 6% of the population is responsible for 33% of killed babies. You're not going to get nowhere. You're not going to raise your numbers. You're not going to bolster the population and see reflections of yourself everywhere when you just can't crack that 13% number. So it's not possible. It's mathematically impossible for this rainbow that you want in the press corps. There aren't enough black people for it. So it's not going to happen. I know you want this rainbow coalition every time you come up there to cry some crocodile tears about some 13-year-old that got killed. I know you want to look out and see all these colored faces when you give another sad ass, "we need to stop this," when 42 people get shot in one weekend. I know that's what you want to see, but you can't see that because the numbers aren't there. So instead of worrying about the overwhelming whiteness and maleness of the press corps, why don't you worry about the overwhelming blackness of the fucking murder victims in your shithole of a city? There's a video out there of a Chicago police officer. He's parked under a bridge, and all he does is hold his phone outside of the window to record the sounds that he hears at night on his shift. If you close your eyes, you're going to think you're listening to audio from an Arab wedding somewhere. You know, they get their AKs and just start spraying in the air. That's what you think you're listening to. Because in the distance, you hear, brah, brah, pa, pa, boom, 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 pop, pop, brah, boom, boom, boom. The video is like 2 minutes long, and I'm lowballing it. It's probably longer than that. Pow, pow, brah, pop, pop, pop. Where the fuck is this cop? You expect this uniform to say policier or some weird foreign version of police. Nope. Chicago Police Department, United States of America. Shithole. But you're worried about the race and gender of people who stick microphones in your face? Are you serious? We're getting into summertime. You know what happens in Chicago in the summertime? You know what that heat does to those violent ass gangbangers? And you're going to worry about some stupid ass shit like this? You're racist. Because if you take her ugly, useless appendix ass, I call these politicians appendix or tonsils because we can do without them. So if you take her stupid ass out of there and you put a white person in there, same words, same political position, same city, same scenario. From the first day I was on the campaign trail, I was overwhelmed by the blackness and maleness of the press corps. You already know how that story would end. If Trump said that, boy, I was overwhelmed by the blackness and maleness of the press corps. You already know. But since she is draped in the proper victimhood, since she belongs to the right club, nobody's going to say shit, which is a shame. So just know, Chicagoans, just know, survivors in a war zone, that your mayor is more concerned about the faces of the people who kiss her ass during a press conference than your safety. Moving on. Chrissy Teigen. You remember, or you probably don't remember. If you're lucky, you don't remember. She's the wife of that dumbass John Legend, the Trump-hating, America's racist, systemic racism. Honey, when you get a chance, please let me have my balls back. John Legend. His wife, saying all this crazy shit about Trump and he's racist and Nazi. Well, now she's getting in trouble. Now she's getting burnt by that SJW flame. That's the problem. The shit is so convoluted and complicated that eventually it's going to eat its own. Good. So she's getting in trouble because back in the day, I guess 5 years or so back, there was this guy who's an actor, 50 years old, and he ended up marrying a 16 years old. Side note, okay? A 50-year-old man comes knocking on my door asking about my 16-year-old. I'm going to put something in his face that shoots projectiles. What the fuck are you sniffing around my 16-year-old for? And her mom signed the papers for her to get married underage. I think we got a rope to put around her neck too. You're a disgusting piece of shit. So Chrissy Teigen, who was like 25 or 26 at the time, number one, why are you corresponding with a 16-year-old online? I think Chris Hansen ought to look into this. So this disgusting piece of Hollywood trash tells this 16-year-old girl that she should kill herself. Isn't that nice? Trump's a misogynist. He grabs women by the pussy, but you told a 16-year-old that she should kill herself. Nothing? Hollywood? Alyssa Milano? You other eyes wide shut party attending perverts? Nothing? She told a kid to kill themselves? Again, why are you talking to a 16-year-old online? At 25, 26 years old, you have jack shit in common with a 16-year-old. How could you even stand to be around a 16-year-old? You disgusting monster, but the hypocrisy. Now they're going after her, but are they going after her like somebody who doesn't have a D next to their name or somebody who's not a sick, disgusting pervert in the entertainment industry? No, but I hope they do. I hope she gets canceled. But that's a mean, fucked up thing to say to a child. 16. Now, I know her mother ushered her into a sick, twisted situation, but you shouldn't tell teenagers to kill themselves, asshole. Speaking of assholes, here's a whole group of assholes. If you call a group of crows a murder of crows, then what do you call a group of BLM? I say assholes. So guess what, guys? BLM, it's on their official website. I'm sorry, let's keep it real. See BLM, certain Black Lives Matter, because if the perpetrator is too high on the color chart, they don't give a shit. Or I'm sorry, too low on the color chart. They don't give a shit. If the victim looks like the perpetrator, nobody cares. So BLM, CBLM, Certain Black Lives Matter, officially throws their support behind who? Palestine, aka Hamas. They are supporting a terrorist organization. Makes sense because they are a terrorist organization. Maybe not on the level of Hamas, not yet, but they've done their damage. So they say that they side with the Palestinian people in Israel and blah, blah. Why? Because they were getting their ass kicked? You feel bad for them because they were getting fucked up? Maybe you shouldn't have poked the bear. Maybe you shouldn't be shooting rockets in the downtown. But BLM supports Palestine. They support Hamas. Palestine. Are there any black folks in Palestine? Well, there are. I think that's a relevant question, being that we're dealing with Black Lives Matter. They're not called Black Lives Matter in America, are they? They're called Black Lives Matter. So I would think Black lives everywhere, especially in a country that you're supporting. But how are black lives treated in Palestine, this country that they're throwing their full support behind? Well, I'm glad you asked. Black neighborhoods in Palestine are known as Al-Abid. That means slave. So it's a slave neighborhood. That's nice. And the person this particular article was about, they refer to him as Samara. That means dark skin. So wait, hold on. You mean to tell me in Palestine, this place that they are supporting, they refer to the black neighborhoods as slave neighborhoods. They call the black Palestinians Samara, which means, hey, dark skin. They're harassed by the police. They're discriminated against in the job market. And it's, that sounds very Jim Crow-like. That sounds just like the things that BLM cries and bitches about here in America. But you're going to throw your support behind a country that engages in that same behavior right now? Not no black and white memory bullshit. Jim Crow, you talking about 60 years ago. No. That happens right now. Discriminated against by the police and in the job market? That sounds like the same shit these clowns say happens here. Except the only difference is it's really happening in Palestine. So why are you supporting Palestine, aka Hamas, and not America, where you live, and they allow you to say this stupid shit? Here's a question. What do you think the Palestinian Authority would do to a group of people that was anti-Palestinian, who held riots and protests against the government, burned down cities, beat people? What do you think they would do? You think they would tell the police, hey, back off, let them riot? What did the mayor of Baltimore say during the, what was his name, Freddie Gray riots? Let them destroy. You think some Palestinian leader is going to say, let them destroy? No, he's going to say, destroy them. But that's how you know these fake bastards aren't for real. The same shit you say happens here, which is bullshit, happens in another country that you support. Man, stop. Stop. When are we going to be done with these fools? They're not for real. We got plenty of real issues and real problems to deal with. Not these fake ass fools who found a way to make 6 to 10 billion in 6 months. What are we doing? Are you serious? Wait a minute. The police harass us. We are discriminated against in the job market. Black Lives Matter. America's racist. Hey, BLM. Hey, my name's Palestine. We do the same shit here. Do you guys care? No. Fucking clowns. Man, you heard the noise. That's my wife texting me. I gotta get up out of here. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone. Link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.